Hello guys, this is Paula and I am here today for us to do some more tags. I want to give a recap on what we did in the last video. We did this bird and this bird tag, and they are different. If you look at them closely, you can see they are different, even the toppers, but they could be a set. Okay, and this one, it's a lonely one. It's the only one, but I may do another one to go along with it. And so, yeah, that was fun too. And then we had the gold background with the really cool tags that I got for free on Pinterest. And so I put lace in the background, two different types of flowers. One says beautiful, one says loved. I think those turned out cute too. And then here's the different ones, which is black and gold background card with some white. And this is a vintage button here. This one is not, but I put some old doily on there. So those two were lots of fun as well. Now, I also did some birdie ones, little birds that were on book page, old book page, and I had covered the background here, and this one as well. So we had both of those. Okay, now I'm going to change these. I'm not going to do it on this video, but I'm going to do a video probably in place of the tag video in a day or so. And we're going to change this into I'll just give you a tip. We're going to put this on the front of the flap of the envelope. And we're going to put this on the back here for the inside of the other side of the envelope. And it's going to make it like a little book that flips out. And then I have made tags to go inside. These are Mrs. Cog's images. And we'll make those to go in here. And then we'll decorate here. And maybe not the back, because I probably would make these go into a book like this and flip open and out. So we're not going to do that today because we're going to work on some more tags. But I am going to be doing a project similar to this. And I thought maybe I'd get these done as examples and then we'd make the new ones. And so that will be fun. Okay. So now I'm going to show you one example. This is an example of one of the tags we'll be doing in this set. Now, I'm gonna tell you it has lace, it has old doily, it has a piece of printed paper behind this little doily, and it has this image. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. And then I put this little flower here just because it's a sunflower. It needed something. And then I just did like a jute topper because I thought it went well with the brown ink. So this is going to be the example of some that we are going to do. So we'll do one of these and then we'll do one of the others. Okay, so I just laid everything out. Everything's been inked because that just takes so much crazy time, doesn't it? And I can't remember if I put the lace down with glue stick or if I used, no, I put it down with glue stick because you can't see the glue through that, which is a nice thing about using glue stick. Okay, so I'm going to put this lace to this direction. On this one, we're not going to really have anything major hanging over, so we don't have to worry about folding it under. On this one I did because this was a cream lace because of the yellows. And so some of them have cream lace, some have white lace. And this is all vintage lace that I'm using. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just add the blue glue, glue stick, which will hopefully stick without any problems. I know that it has been used on other lace and done just fine. So we'll see. You never know. From one glue stick to the next, what you're gonna get. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the center, and remember that this glue stick will, it will definitely turn back white. It dries clear. So it's kind of freaky when you first do it because you think, oh my, that's not gonna work. So on this particular one, there's not any sewing, okay? See, like it's already pulling up. I don't know why it's doing that. I know it dries it down when you give it some time. So we shouldn't have any problems as far as that goes. I'm going to get a paper, a Huggies on here so we can get some of this glue up so we don't glue to the table. All right, now, I think I'm going to wipe this off with the Kleenex here so we don't have it wet the whole time. Okay, so now this is going to dry, and then we'll trim around it, and that will be fine. I got to get the glue off my fingers or I'll be sticking to everything. That's the thing about doing lace like this. It will make a difference. So on this right here, we have this little doily and just a little hole punched picture that came from one of the kits. I'm not sure which one. I've been cutting out so much stuff and stocking up on this and stocking up on that, so there's no telling which one. So I'm just putting glue stick on the back of this little circle and putting it onto the center of this tag. Then I'm going to take Fabri-Tac and glue the doily portion down. Now I'm gluing it just below the hole that's punched, just so you know. It does have a punched hole for the tag. It's just covered up with lace, but we can fix that, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so we're gluing this doily down here at the top, just below the punched hole on the tag. And there's, you know, not a wrong or right way to do this doily. I mean, you could flip it all different directions. It's up to you. Now we're going to take oh, where'd my little piece of I guess I didn't tear a piece for this one, so let me get it out. So I took some just old paper, and I wanted it to be bigger than this doily right here. Okay, I want it to stick out, you know, in areas. And did I get this the right size? Let me see. You know, I don't think there's really a wrong size. It's just another layer. So let's do like this, and let's tear at the very top. There's no perfection involved in this. I do want you to ink it so it will stand out and be noticed. I thought I had tore one for every little one we've made. Okay, this is just going to go like this, or it's going to go like this. Let's see which one looks the best. And let me see what's the top. This picture confuses me because I can't tell what's top from bottom. So that will be fine. And see, that gives it, right there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Okay, so what I suggest is that we just start gluing one on top of the other. Let's do this little doily on top of the paper first, since we've got it all laid out where we want it. And then just push it down there. I didn't put glue around any of the edges, only the center of the doily. Now I'm using Fabri-Tac because when you get this many layers, you know, you want to make sure it's sticking fine. Now, put some glue here on this little torn paper. And then we're going to glue this onto the doily. You know, when I think about how many different ways there is to make tags, it's really, I mean, if you ever go and look at tags anywhere, like Pinterest, for example, you can go under tags and just find all kinds of tags, you know. But sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. So right here, I decided to add a strip of glue. If you notice right here on the finished one, there is a strip of lace, across the bottom of the doily. Now, it's not actually on top of the doily, it's just across the area. So, with these tags being so dark in the background, it's really kind of hard to tell what is beige and what is white. Trust me, I could tell that for sure. Now I'm going to use this thin tip on the glitter glue to put this lace down. And it does dry pretty quickly, so you got to work pretty fast, know what the front of your lace is and so forth. Okay, just like that. And you just want to push it up as close to the doily as you can, but keep it straight. I mean, don't curve it or anything. I would keep it straight. Now, it doesn't take long for this glitter glue to dry. Let's see. All right. But the thing that's weird, the difference between the glitter glue and the my brain's on overdrive. On the Fabri-Tac, you don't have to hold it or wait on it with Fabri-Tac, but this is liquidy compared to Fabri-Tac. So I don't know. I like them both, but if I could afford to use nothing but Fabri-Tac, that's what I would use. But you know, it costs a lot to buy the Fabri-Tac all the time, you know, because like if I make a big book, it takes nearly the whole bottle to make that book, you know, depending on how much you're putting in the book. I'm about to start another book. I found a couple digitals that I like. Gail had showed some of them on her channel, so you can go back and look there. She's got all the links. I don't know, it hasn't been that far back. Now I've got to get some of this for the top, and we will slip this through. Hopefully I'm going to have to find something to punch a hole. You know, I didn't think of that beforehand, or I would have went ahead and done it. But this will work just as good. Just poke a hole in the lace and send it through, and it will be just fine. There's different ways to put your tops on, so I'll probably do all these different. If I can get this one to come through, let's try it like this. It does not want to go through, so let me get the actual hole punch. That probably would help. It may not punch all the way through either. Let's see. Okay. Come on, come on. Maybe that punched big enough. You know, I know it will loosen up the lace if nothing else. So, So there's all kinds of ways that you can decorate your tags. And, you know, to each their own. Everybody has a different way of doing it. I'm going to cut these about the same length, the string on top. And then we'll add a floral design right here on the side. Kind of a peachy pink little rosette, which I need to get some more of. I've used a bunch doing my little, you know, I don't know if I want it up that high, but you know what? I think I'm going to do it different. You can do them with it down here or up. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like. You could even add, let me see if I've got anything in here I can give you an example. You can even add like some kind of little embellishment if you want. If I can find one small enough to show you. I'm looking right now. I'm sorry. I've got a stack of stuff over here. I'm just kind of looking to see if there's anything small. I've used a lot of the small stuff, but I'm going to show you as an example this little ticket. So you could take and slide this little ticket up under here, and that would be cute. You can do all kinds of little things like that. You could take one of your little, whoops, stuff is falling. So one of your little mini circles that Tracie has in her store. So, I mean, it goes on and on what you can do. I'm picking up what I just knocked down. It's because I have too much going on here. I'm just going to tell you, I have too much going on. But, anyway, let me set that to the side so I don't knock it off again. So this is how I'm going to leave this one. I think it's really cute. It's simple. I mean, who can't layer, right? And it's really simple, but it has a great effect. And so here's the one I finished prior to the video. And then here's the one I just finished. And then, so you can see they'd make a great set. Okay, and they'll probably end up being a set of some sort. Now we're going to go on to the next card or tag that I want us to make, and then we'll work on the others as we go along. So I made a lot. This one is going to require sewing, I think. Let me put this pin back where it goes, and let me move my sewing machine over. I've made some of these and put them in my Etsy shop, but they're completely differently. They're done differently. So you can watch how I do these, and if you want to go back and look, you can see the ones I worked on before. Let me put this on here because I'm not going to need the glue stick for this particular tag since we're going to use the sewing machine. All of this particular one is going to be sewn. And I hope you guys are having a great day. It's really muggy here. I tell you, it's so hot and muggy outside. You don't even want to go out. I mean, I go to take the puppy out and I'm just like, oh, it's killing me out here. But anyway, let me get my machine over here. Whoa, just pulled off the arm. Note to self, do not pull on the end of your sewing machine. Let me see if you guys can see. I'm going to tilt it a little bit, so hang on. Let me move these scissors out of the way and back this glue off a little bit. Now, let me make sure you can see. All right, you can. I've got all the lights on. I just want to make sure we've got the best lighting we can have. Okay, so I've got this image that came out of Tracie Fox's Etsy shop, Love Junk Journals. And there's also a version of these that are in the brown tones. And the brown tones is what I made before. So I'm making they're a little different. Both of these are a little different, but the brown tones, I had a set that I believe I sewed already. Now, so we're going to have this thin doily fabric. This came off of a thin doily. The one I was using was thicker, but this one's really thin. I inked my tea stained white tags, and I'm thinking we can put this on here, but I thought instead of just putting it on there, we'll put this top part on and we'll stitch around it. And we'll do it with all of this put on together, okay? And then I got to keep it straight. That's the trick. Come on, come on. Because when you're stitching something like this, it can slide all over the place. So you want to clip it if you can somewhere. Although I don't know if these clips are going to reach, and they didn't. So let's just do this. This will reach, don't you think? Okay, we'll just start down here at the bottom. And once we get that portion done, it should work fine. I'm using kind of a blue, a black blue. It's called black blue or blue black or something like that. So I'm just going to use a straight stitch because I think it looks better on this type of tag. Trying to get my string to cooperate so we don't get jammed up here. Okay, so we'll start down here at the bottom and stitch around. I like to be able to back stitch also so I don't have to worry about it coming apart on anyone. So that's another reason that I like to do straight stitch, because everybody knows my zigzag does not back stitch for some crazy reason. It will cost me about $150 to find out why, because my manual does not mention it, believe it or not. So yeah, that's the reason I haven't had it done. If I had thought when I had it in the shop the last time, I would have had them look at that, but no. Did I think about that? No, I did not. Now, when I printed this digital off, I printed it on just copy paper. It would be way more brilliant if you had it on like your heavier cardstock. When I say heavier, 65 pound is fine. My machine won't take anything that weighs more than that. The reason I brought that up is because I like this very kind of faded, pale look to it. And I have printed it on both, but I've already used the others on something. I don't know what it was. But, yeah. I just liked it being not quite as bright. And it's not really bright to start with, but you know what I'm saying. So here's what it looks like when we stitch that string around. And it's going to be like this on the back, which is great. I like the way it looks for journaling. Now, let me bring you back. I think you can see okay there. That way we don't have to go back and forth. And so I have this really cool trim that came from Ooh La La Crafts, and it has a really pretty design, and it has little sequins and beads on it in random places. So you just need to go to Ooh La La Crafts on Etsy, and I'll try to remember to link her. If I've made promises to link people and I haven't, it's because I've either been distracted or we've had company or somebody here when my husband's loading the video. I get aggravated about that, but what can I say? Okay, so we're going to add this little bit of lace here, and I am going to add it with glue because I don't want it to be stitched on with that that much darkness on the on the lace or the trim. I like it being a little less, you know, I want it to be more subtle. Okay, now I'm just putting some of the glitter glue across the top and the bottom and down the sides, and hopefully this will glue nicely and not show a bunch of glue through the ribbon. That's my goal, I'll put it that way. Okay, now it is going to come through and it will be there until this dries. So we're going to let this dry and see how it does. If we don't like the way it looks, we'll just do fabric tack instead. Right? Can't go wrong with fabric tack, but you can go wrong with the glitter glue if you're not wanting it to be moist, because it is. So now I had picked this little rosette from Ooh La La Crafts to be my topper. At first I thought maybe after I looked back on these that I didn't want to do that, but I've changed my mind because I ended up using tea-stained cards or tags, and it just looks better now. So let's go ahead and see if we can tie it one more time. Don't want it to go anywhere. Okay. Now I think that turned out pretty cute. What I'm trying to accomplish with these videos is for you to be able to do something to, for you to, you know, to give you ideas to do tags that are simple but end up looking really stunning. I think it looks stunning. That's just me talking, but I think it does. I mean, it has glitter on it. See that glitter? And yeah, so let's do one more like this, and then we'll move on to the other one. I want you to be able to see them both. Okay, gotta close the lid. Don't want it to plug up on me. My little my little straight pin is not so straight anymore. Okay, now we're going to do the very same thing. We're going to stitch it on. It just is much faster doing that, and before you know it, you have a tag made. You saw how fast this was. Yes, I prepped them. The thing that took me the longest was cutting out the image, and the rest of it was pretty simple. So the first thing we're going to do is get this straight on here and show just a little bit on each side, and then we'll put our tag underneath it. See, which is kind of grungy looking, which I like. Okay, here we go. Want to make sure you have as close to the same amount on top as you do on the bottom. Now to get it straight. It's never easy, is it? All right. Put our clip on there to hold it in place, and now we're going to stitch a straight stitch. I recommend you do the back stitch here also. All right. I had heard about using the blue black from Rachel at Roxy Creations, and she's right. It's not as stark of a black, but yet it still is very dark like a black. So it just has like a just blue tinge to it, you know. And I like it because it's not as stark. When you look at it, it just kind of works. Now I'm finding that because I did it on cardstock, it is, it wants to, I didn't think of it, honestly. And I noticed on both of them that you can get a little puffiness in behind the image. I think it's because it's not super heavy, but you can see right here, let me show you. See how it kind of, so maybe a little bit of fabric glue behind there would be fine, but honestly, it's not doing it. It does it on this one, but not much. And I think it's fine. I wouldn't even worry about it. I think it's going to serve its purpose just fine. Okay, so here we have our second one, and we're going to do the same thing. Let me see how this other one's gluing. See if we want to do it that way. Well, for something that's supposed to glue super fast, I'm not impressed. But let's go ahead and be consistent and use this on the lace or trim again. Sometimes you just got to take chances. I know it will glue. It's just a matter of how long it takes to glue. This little string on here, there's a little tiny string that is puckering. I'm sure it's one of the strings that holds on the little sequins every now and then. Okay, here we go. Okay, gotta get the glue off of me. I mean, it is on me. And then get it off the table. Got a little bit on the back. Then come over the table with a dry one. Okay, so I'm not going to cut the edges on these until I know that they're glued down. And I'm going to use the rosette again, trim from Ooh La La Crafts. Okay, and I'm stingy with my trims and lace that go on top. You know, if it's twine, it's one thing, but I don't like to waste it because it's every little piece is precious. You know, there's always something you can do with the extra, so I hang on to it. Okay, and again, this is the little rosette. Let me get it all straightened out. Turn the right direction. Yeah, so there we go. So there are both our tags. Now, on the next one, I didn't prep anything. So we're just gonna pull it over here and start to prep it, because I figured, you know, we'd have time to do that on one. So we're basically doing 3 different kinds of tags in this video. As soon as I get the lid on my glue, sometimes my fingers don't cooperate. Look how that glue's just everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a clean wipey. My other one was loaded with glue. Okay, this is a different kind of trim. It's a ruffle. Now, it's not going to go on the top of the, to tie the top hole or anything. It's going to go on the actual image here. Now, this is different. This is a different tag from what we've done, even though it is the same kind of tag itself. We're going to ink first, okay? And this is how I did the others as well. Just inked around. So last night, my son came over to pick up my oldest grandson. And he had his head shaved. You know, I told you I was going to be seeing that. And I didn't think he looked bad. I can see where he went in looking like he might have belonged to the mafia. Because he had his sunglasses on the top of his head. And you know how bald-headed guys always pull them down their forehead. Well, down to just barely up on their head. Well, he's always done that. But it looks different with a complete balded head. I just love him so much. And he's so... he's got so much ambition, and you know, even at 45, he's still very ambitious. He grows, I told you he grows mushrooms, and they're unbelievable. And he showed me some pictures of the room that he has built for the mushrooms, and he built all this shelving, you know, as high, I mean, he has to get on a step stool to get to the top shelf, but to use for the mushrooms to grow. It's a process. He'd like to get way more shelves and all of that, but then he has some kind of ventilation or sprinklers that sprinkle in there and keep moisture in there. And oops, we're forgetting our paper piece here. And anyway, long story short, it's pretty cool. Okay, so this one has text paper under it. You can't, on some of them, I guess the fabric's a little wider. But you don't have to have it this wide, but I like it. I'm going to pull down on this one a little bit to show the top. Okay. All right. I'm going to trim a little bit of this doily, or this lace runner that came off the doily on here. Got it a little long. Maybe we'll be able to see some of the stuff underneath. If not, it's not that big a deal. It just would be fun. I could like pull it to one side. Let's see what this looks like. Pull this text paper all the way to the edge so you can see the rough part, and then bring this over a little bit more to the left. Then we'll have a different look. Let's try that. See what we get going here, and then add this on. See? And you can see the text paper up here and down this side. Why not, right? Just try it. It's just paper. That's what I always tell myself. It's just paper. But I don't want to clip that portion that, let's just do it up here. I just don't want it to move all over the place. So now we're going to stitch this as well. And get my sewing machine thread all in place. And we'll start down here. I always start in the right lower corner when I'm stitching. Boy, I got close to the edge that time. Got to bring it over a little bit. Pull this clip off. Okay. Bring it down here, one more side. So my daughter, she's excited to be doing the mother on Mamma Mia, but she has a lot of lines and a lot of music to learn. And I mean, she practically knows all the songs just from, you know, loving the show in general. And but since I talked to her last, she's learned the actual Mamma Mia song. And so yesterday, her dad and I are sitting there eating dinner, and we get this text, and she comes on, and she makes a comment below this video, and the video said, I'm on my way to my first rehearsal. And so then the volume comes on, and it starts playing Mamma Mia. Now see, this one's real puffy. So you might be better off to glue. It's not going to make any difference. I mean, you know. Now we can put this trim down here like we did the other, or we can put it up here to be different. I say we put it up here. Anyway, I don't know though. I start looking and I start questioning myself. It'll probably fit in a pocket better if it's up here. So we'll just do it up here and see what happens. Anyway, so the video comes on and the music to Mamma Mia is playing. And then she just starts singing it. And she's looking at the camera, driving at the same time. Shame on her. She had the camera on some kind of stand, or the phone on some kind of stand. But her dad and I just cracked up. And she was deliberately trying to be funny, you know. And the crazy thing is she wouldn't do that with anybody but her mom and dad. Because for so many years, she would be in the car like that, rehearsing on her way to rehearsal. And, I mean, she did all kinds of things growing up. And anything musical or theatrical, she did. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tracie University. It's a big college here, very expensive college, and she did get a scholarship there, but she ended up wanting to go in a different direction, and she decided not to take it, and it was in musical theater. I'm going to go ahead and trim this. Yeah, there we go. I like the way that turned out. Now, I think we probably need to do the same thing. Well, I'm trying to think what kind of top we want on it. It feels weird having that little bit of a looseness here. But I like the ruffle, don't you? And I like the way this portion came out. So do we want to put more of this on there? Because it's kind of looks like it goes better. Let's just see what we end up with. Let's try it. Okay. Put it down in here. I decided just to make all the toppers the same. Just pull them through. Yeah, so this is how it turned out. Simple but cute, right? At least I think so. I mean, we could even add, if we wanted to. I'm looking here in my little button box. See if I have anything in the right color. This would be a good color to add a button. It would need to be on this side. And I will think on that. If I decide to add a button, I'll show you these in the next video, and so we can recap again. I'll have them all finished. All the ones that we're doing alike. And show you the final project. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside and get another one. See what we can come up with. Now this one has red berries on it of some sort. Don't ask me what. I don't know my berries on. I'm not a nature person. In case you haven't noticed. Okay, we're going to make, let me see how much time we've got. We've got 15 minutes, so we'll make one more. So we're just going to ink everything up real fast. I don't do fancy inking. I just hit it on here and go about my business. Now, we don't need to ink the fabric, but we need to ink the other stuff here. It's getting warm in my little craft room under all these lights. Anyway, she was on there singing Mamma Mia and kind of keeping rhythm, and she'd look where she's going, then she'd look at us, you know, when she'd say Mamma Mia, she'd look at us and open her eyes up. I said, she is such a character. She's funny anyway, but both my kids are funny. They keep Dad and I laughing. They were our entertainment forever, and then when they were gone, we were like, what do we do now? Same thing every parent says. We don't have shows to go to. We don't have plays to go to. We don't have gymnastics to go to. We don't have baseball to go to. My son was a great baseball player. But anyway, it's just fun. It's fun sitting back and watching. But now I sit back and I look at my grandson, Elliot. He's our oldest grandchild. And I think, oh my gosh. You know, he is going to be 16 on his birthday. It is hard to swallow. You know, we can see that he has definitely matured. But the funny thing is, he was never interested in much other than his computer stuff. Super smart kid, but he don't want to take karate. He don't want to do any of that stuff, but he has picked up music in like the last 8 weeks. And you guys, he has an ear for it, and he doesn't have to read sheet music or anything to play the song on his guitar. He's been playing the guitar and the ukulele. And of course, my son is a great guitarist. And so my husband taught my son to play guitar, and I'm going to put this right here, and then we'll put our fabric, and then we're going to put our fabric to the right just a little bit so we can see that trim right there. And then we're going to put this on. Now I'm thinking, just out of curiosity, let's put a little bit of glue on here and see if that makes that much difference. Just a little bit down the center. I don't think it is, and I'm not worried about it. I think it looks fine, but I'm just curious, you know, how it's going to turn out. Now, I'm going to clip it on here because I want all this stuff a little uneven. I'm not trying to make it perfect, so it'll be okay. All right, now, get this under the machine and get it going. When you lay out if you take 30 minutes or so and lay out everything you want to do, down to cutting the lace and the trim and whatever, this can be a very fast process. And that's what I've done. It did take me a couple hours because I laid out stuff to make a whole bunch of different types of tags. And but if you're just making one set of something, just lay it all out ahead of time. Then when you sit down to put it together, it's quick. You might have to do it in 2 sessions, but that's okay. That's what I did. I did forget to back stitch down here, so I'm going to have to do that now. When I get to the bottom. All right, Stitching done on this one. Okay. My sewing scissors are been kind of not cooperating today. They must be getting dull. I only use them with fabric and string, but what can I say? It's still kind of doing it because there's layers of paper, okay? There's fabric, there's the tag, the fabric, the text paper, and then the tag. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of that happen. So now I'm going to put our trim up. Our trim is going to go across right here. Our little ruffle. Making sure I'm putting it down the right way. It's hard to tell sometimes. Kind of have to hold it there, get it to... So the thing about Fabri-Tac is you can just hold it for a second and it's staying there. Anyway, my grandson brought his guitar and he brought his dad's ukulele. And it was his dad's guitar. Because he just started playing literally 6 to 8 weeks ago. And they were sitting there. My husband pulled out his guitar and my grandson my grandson listened to his papa play House of the Rising Sun. Was one of my husband's favorite, favorite ones to play, and it's very distinctive when you play it. He watched my husband play it one time, and when my husband was done, he just started playing it. It was crazy. I'm like, no way, did you already know that? And he goes, no, Grammy, I never heard of it. He did play it a little faster than he needed to, but he'll get that. But my son was telling me last night that he picks up any song you play in front of him. Just watch you 1 or 2 times and he's got it. It's crazy. I knew he was going to be brilliant when he grew up. I think we all feel that way about our grandkids, don't we? Okay, here is the other 2. So today we have made 6 tags. 5 really, if you want to get official. I had 1 already finished. But we made 6 tags, and let me get them over here. Let me bring the camera back down. Okay. I'm going to move it over, the sewing machine over, so we have some room. So we've got these 2 tags. We have these 2 tags. That's 4 right there. And then we have, what did I do with the sunshine one? Or this sunflower ones. I got to find them and grab them. I thought I laid them over here. There they are. Been a snake, they would have bit me. Okay, and then we have the other 2. And the third image on this is this little bee. I don't have it glued on yet, but you can see here. A little bumblebee with little pink flowers. And I'm just going to put another little pink one on, just like we did on these last ones. So, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more tags made. And we'll see how many more to go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Tomorrow we will do our book. And then the next day, we're going to skip doing this, just nothing but tags, and do some of those projects I showed you. And then the next time we'll go back to tags again on the off day. Alright guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Welcome to all the new subbies. And Have a great evening. Bye.